All right, hey, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started here with tonight's project. We're going to just touch on some of the basics on this Punnett Square project. I've been getting a couple of questions about it, so I wanted to make sure that everybody understood what was being asked in this project so that you could break it down and be successful on it. So there's quite a few projects in this genetics lesson, and each week we're going to kind of go through and break them down a little bit more. So try and be patient. Hopefully, we'll get through them here in the next, week or two, and move on to then, a different unit. But as you go through this project, kind of keep in mind what your objectives are. Obviously, you need to be able to understand how to create Punnett squares. Okay. You need to be able to determine what phenotypes and genotypes are as a result of creating those Punnett squares, and then be able to effectively communicate those results after completing the square. So doing that statistical analysis. So if you're unsure of how to set up Punnett squares, how to do them, I would encourage you to go back to the previous lesson that talks about genetics. View that. I would also encourage you to view the live lesson where I go over how to create Punnett squares. And that's on our class Moodle page. And in addition to that, I'm also going to be posting another video link that goes over Punnett squares. So it's another 10-15 minute video that outlines the process of creating Punnett squares. So you should have three different ways to access that information. Okay, but for this project, very simply, if you are unfamiliar with creating Punnett squares, I would encourage you to watch the video.
My mom and dad both have brown eyes. So how did I get my blue eyes? That's easy. In order to find out how I got a different color of eyes than my parents, I have to go back all the way to my grandparents. First, let's set up my father's, or paternal side. My grandfather had two dominant brown genes, giving him brown eyes. Right in two big B's. My grandmother had blue eyes, so she had to have two recessive blue genes, two small B's. Remember, if she had a big B, that would automatically give her brown eyes, since brown is dominant. Now I'm a solve, which gives me the same result in each square, big B and small b. My father automatically had brown eyes with the recessive blue gene. On my mother.
Okay, so you can see, you can go through the rest of this transcript and it outlines it. Okay, and it talks a little bit about some of the most common traits that you're going to see in the Fisher family, that being free or attached earlobes, dimples or no dimples, freckles or no freckles, whether they have a widow's peak at the tip of their hairline, if they can effectively roll their tongue or they cannot, or their ability to taste PTC paper. Okay, so those are the traits that we're seeing in the Fisher family. What you're then going to do is you are going to use these traits from above here, okay, to create genetic profiles for the Fisher family. All right, so there are 6 people in the Fisher family. Olivia and Marcus are the parents. They have 4 children: Violet, Nathan, Jonas, and Claudia. All right. So what you're doing then is each of these questions is prompting you about a specific trait. Neither Olivia nor Marcus have freckles. Okay. Remember, Olivia and Marcus are the parents. So in order to determine what the genotype of Olivia is, you need to go back up here into your chart to tell you what trait she possesses. So if neither Olivia nor Marcus have freckles, their genotypes, you'll be able to tell that from the chart. Okay. Um, in addition to that, the probability that each child has of inheriting freckles, whenever it asks you for the probability, that means then that you're automatically going to set up a Punnett square. Okay, you're going to set up a Punnett square, inputting Marcus and Olivia's genotypes in the square, and run the Punnett square to determine what the probability of each child has. And again, I would encourage you to go back here and look at that quick refresher if you're unfamiliar with how to do that. Okay, same thing going forward. All right, it gives you the prompt, and it's going to ask you what the genotypes are, or what the probabilities are, or what the phenotypes are And in order to do that, you will need to create Punnett squares for each of these prompts. All right, to determine what they are. You can then put those answers down here, or you can put them in a Word document, and you can attach it and send it to me if it's a little easier for you. It doesn't much matter. Again, if you're still having trouble, I'm going to put a video up this week that goes over how to create Punnett squares. But I would definitely start here with this short video, transition to the live lesson, and then transition to the video that goes along with this. If you're still having trouble at the end of the week, certainly log into the VO, and we'll be more than happy to help you out as well. Have a good week, everybody.